Hello, hi. I'm making this video so you can pick certain things from my process of color grading and use them in yours and also possibly make money while doing this. I'm going to be color grading this film which I shot for Dabur a few days back, and let's start with this frame and then we'll copy paste the grade to other frames and tweak it, tune it for them. This, I'm on the color page. This is my very empty color page. First thing I do is I make a lot of notes. Alt S, Alt S, Alt S, Alt S, Corolla, Alt S. Okay, there's too many notes actually. Yeah. So Alt S, Alt P, P, Alt S, Alt P. So I might not be using most of these nodes, but it's a good node structure to maintain across all the clips. So once I copy paste my grade, I'll have empty nodes to work on, and I am not moving around these nodes too much again and again throughout the film. I might add a few parallels to this, but that doesn't affect our flow of nodes or flow of grade. And just one more over here. I think this should be sufficient enough to start off the edit. First thing I do, this was shot on Sony a7S3 on S-Log3. So let's go to effects, search ACES transform, drag it to second node, first node, so we have it for color balance or any other thing that we would wanna do later on. मैंने खेला है ये खेला एड़े को खिलाया पेड़ा. Okay, second node is transform, input color transform. जाने कहाँ किधर गया जी. Here it is, S-Log3. So mine was actually S-Log3 and then S-Cinetone, but this is S-Gamut3, so I'll use this for now, but eventually I'll have to make adjustments to compensate for that. Wow, there's no output color space as of now. I find P3D60 and P3D65 very convenient to use. Let's see X79, it's a little stronger than P3D65. So P3D60 and D65 have been cinema standard for a while now. I'll use P3D65 for now. What is this new thing? Let's set it to none. Okay, we have a very good contrasty, very saturated image on our screen now, which is a little too saturated to be honest. We'll go on a note before this. Now I can see way more realistic color with my eyes. I'll go to vector scope. I can see it's all blowing up into skin tone is right, but it's going up in red. That's too warm. Okay. Now this is for color balance. First is for color balance. I do nothing with exposure, just color balance. For that, what I do mostly is I move this offset wheel around till this thing is balanced more towards the center. So if I take it here, this sort of looks balanced, but now if I look at the image, just to balance it, I have lost a lot of colors because most of the lights on the set were warm lights, so it will have a overall warm feel to it. So this doesn't work. Reset. But we need to move in that direction, but not that far. So a bit towards skin tones, a bit down, and I guess we can stop here. Sorry, my alarm. I'm back. Yes. So where are we? I have sort of color balanced it. I'll enable disable node 1, node 1, node 1, node 1, node 1. Yes, the red ambience leak is gone. The warmth from the ambience is a little more natural now. Okay, this bit balance, I feel it can be a little more towards blue or like a little downwards. Yeah. On the set there was also a blue light filling up the ambience, so I can actually get that blue in background. It's not something that I got from just from the grade. I did set up a light over there. Okay, this is now good enough starting point. This is color balance. There's no color correction happening here. There's just ACES transform. Right now it's at 100%. I straight away bring it down to 40%. I need very subtle ACES transform. So I can also use one of my LUT. It's a very lazy workflow. You would feel like that I put ACES transform and LUT and most of my job is done. But it's a very safe way to go ahead. if you have a lighting which is on point, which is already nailed, then all you need to do is put the LUTs and it'll be almost there, and then just fine tune it and massage it and things like that. So I have a go-to LUT. More looks Anish. I'll attach a link to this LUT. I bought this LUT. Okay, this LUT is again very strong. It's sort of orange and teal LUT, but it does the job very well, way better than any other orange and teal LUT I have ever used in my life, ever since I was a kid. It's at 0. I'll bring this LUT at 20%, 25%, almost 25%. Now I can bring up the Asus transform a bit more. I think this is a sweet spot to start, and now I can tweak with my curves with other things, other tools I have available here on panel. Okay, what, because there was a difference in the input color space, I see very strong saturation, and especially reds. Reds for some reason pop out a lot on S-Log 3 Sony when I put this Asus transform with my current settings. I'll use this, so I'll just label it for my convenience and yours as well. Color balance, color correction, exposure correction, safety. I'm grading this early morning and my alarms are going off. Safety, this is, I won't use this for now, but when I copy paste this grade across to other things, I would use it. And then out of these, I think I should add one more, or P. First, I think I'll use this one for skin. I'll try doing something fun with them, highlights and shadows. These set of two will also be used for shadows. I'll show you how I'll do that. And I guess this is again for safety. I don't know how I'll use it, but I'll use it in some way, mostly for color purposes. So to the first color correction. As I said, the reds pop out a lot, so I'll go to RGB mixer, dial the red 1 point down, and then go to hue versus saturation and select the red in particular, widen the selection and bring it down a bit. Wait, okay, this is full, this is 0. It looks, it's on her cheeks, on her lips, and bit on her hair. I'll bring it down one point, a little more than 1 point. Actually, a little less than 1 point. Yeah. Okay, again, we are at a good starting point. Now, I think we can bump up the overall saturation. I'll do it with color boost this time. So there's some addition in color values. It's not just pushing the top highly saturated things. And yeah, looks good to me until this point. Now I'll come to exposure correction. I want these blacks to be crushed down even more. It should be way darker blue, and for that, let's go to the curves. The first curve, this is the graph I can see in the background, and this is mostly the blacks. I'll create a point here and bring it down. I can also not crush down her hair because the film is about hair oil. I can do this much without, okay, this is looking bad. Reset. This gets very tricky. Very quickly you lose out all the details the moment you go you start crushing them down at a point and then it's gone. The charm is gone. Let's come to these two nodes. Now what I'm gonna do with these two nodes, I'm gonna use them to control our shadows. So these are parallel nodes for now, but I'll right click and morph into layer mixer node, and now right click and composite mode, I'll switch it to multiply, and now basically this layer, the values are being multiplied to layer 11. How it works in Photoshop, how, so if this basically we are picking the darker ones and we're like multiplying the darker ones against each other, their color value, their luminance values. So if this is white, which means it has 1 as luminance value and it's not multiplied by anything, so it's as it is. Okay, so now it's starting it down. I'll get here and smoothen it. Now if I enable and disable, you'll see the difference. The shadows are being reduced, but they are way far away from getting crushed. Multiply also multiply some color values, so just to be safe I'll reduce the saturation. Yes, I'll reduce the saturation a lot. Nice and sweet. तो अब क्या करें हम अब when life gives you roadblock, start watching Instagram reels. This will make you forget about your roadblock and life will go on as it is. I'll also do one thing. So I have used the shadows to get multiplied and I've kept highlight as it is. Second, I'll smoothen her hair out by blurring the layer we are multiplying. So her hairs are not now super duper sharp. And so how Pro Mist filter or Hollywood Blackmagic filter on our camera gives a glow to the highlights. This process in a way gives a glow to the shadows, blurring out the shadows and then multiplying them. Before, after. Awesome. What is this doing? तू क्या कर रहा है? Okay, do your job. Do it better. At this point, I'm just dodging around nodes. I'm not into process anymore. The moment I set my node tree, now I'll just jump around here and there, start tweaking things up and down, wherever it fits, honestly. Let's see what I can do with my skin, with her skin, not my skin. For my skin, I use moisturizer. For her skin, let's see what kind of moisturizer we can put on it. So my aim is to make the selection as soft as possible and just skin without any dancing artifacts on the screen. So hue selection soft, saturation selection soft, and low, I can push the low up a bit more, this much. Luminance I can get it down. Okay, nahi. Okay, I think that's pretty sorted by itself. This point looks good. High point, I can bring it as high as possible. This also gets stuck here. And okay, now to smoothen it out, a lot of pre-filter, some blur, because I'm not going to do heavy changes on this node, so I can blur it out a lot. Post filter and denoise. Trying to get a test playback. Okay, so I know my selection now. The skin is too sharp for me right now. The eyes are also getting selected, so maybe black clip a bit more, clean black a little more. Yes, it should be more of skin. So now I have fairly rough selection of the skin. I need to reduce the sharpness, and let's see on the skin tone when we look at whole of the image. But to reduce the sharpness, what can I do? I can go to denoise mode, better, medium, and like let's go it all out. Why can I not see the difference? Okay, let's do it faster for now so I can see the difference. Yes, difference is happening on the skin, but now it'll become better and large. And let's see, off, on. It's very subtle, very subtle. I also need some sort of glow in her skin. Right now it's very contrasty. It looks, it doesn't look like a lively skin, I would say. For glow, what I can do, I can bring the left up by a point. Move the, okay, this is not for glow, but it's also there in general. No. Okay, there's some glow. And then mid-tone details, I can reduce that. Yes, I can reduce mid-tones detail a little. So if by default it was at 0, I can bring it to minus 13. Mid-tone details is like frequency separation on Photoshop. Okay, it's now very well saturated. I'll reduce this LUT for now so I can get a better view of what I'm doing. The skin enable disable. I think reds are already way more very beautiful. I can't push them further, otherwise they'll fall down the cliff. And contrast is also beautiful. Sharpness. reduce sharpness by a point. I've done that. I have reduced the sharpness by a point on all the skin by actually 1.3. Yes, and should have made the sharpness go away. Okay, let's do some fun thing now. Let's come to highlights. I want this to glow better than how it is right now, but I can't track it because there are too many shots to do that. I'll just put a gradient like this and go to curves, push it up from highlight region, and I can I can push the blues up a little. Maybe I could do that. Very subtle, very subtle. And I can go to shadows. I can, let's make a mask of sorts. Gradient. Let's make a gradient. One gradient here, another one over here. These are very broad things, but they do a very good task of bringing attention to our subject. So if I crush it down, it goes like this. If I push it up, it goes like this. Oh, this looks funny. I mean, this looks fun. Okay, for now, let's push them down. Let's see if I can add any overall glares, but shadows are gonna be like this. Highlights are gonna be like this. I can also possibly get in another something on center of a face, and then it'll soften down. I'm softening down because it's too strong, like me. And I'll have to reduce the opacity of this one in particular. Okay, now it's at 0. I'll increase the opacity to 30. रंग केसरी हो या मृदंग केसरी हो या हो केसरी हो. Opacity goes up to 40, 50, almost 50, almost 50. And I'll soften it up because I believe there'll be more shots where she'll be moving a bit more. Looks fun, looks fun. I'm gonna do some special effects over here. Let's try out glares for all the side shots as a part of treatment. I'll do glares on the corrector 8 effect. What do I search? Flare, lens flare, drag and drop. Not this, reset. Let's see what all are there in light. Lens reflection. Okay, global blur. Okay, with fine composite isolated. Reflections alone, fine composite. Okay. Let's see. Can I get more reflections? Let's try some other effect, not the lens reflection. We might come back to lens reflection, but let's come back to lens reflection. Is there not other kind of reflection? Are there no presets? Reflection alone. light rays. If I reduce the source, it can be reduced to the light on top, right? It can be. Not usable. There's so many tools available out there. Waviness, not required. Warp, lens distortion, video collage, transform, surface tracker, match move. I have to watch YouTube videos about them to learn, so I can make YouTube videos about them to for you to learn. Motion trails, watercolor, stylized pencils, mirror, emboss, edge detect, blanking fill, abstraction, sharpen patch remover, object removal, dust buster, deband, dead pixel fixer. There's a beauty custom. Let's see what the custom mixer is. I don't know what's happening. Reset, combine, don't gang them up. Input one contribution. If I push red, okay. Oh, it's doing just the color value push in and push out. Oh, damn it. I randomly moved these and I love this look. Can I do something with blue, blue, blue? What if everything goes up? It's same. I don't know what's changing. I don't know what I did. I moved a few numbers and I'm lucky now. It looks like a lottery. Suddenly all that magenta is gone that from the skin, and the ambience is also filled with better colors for some reason. I feel so. It's so much about intuition, color grading. Offset. Is it like shadows? It's offset. But then what's input one, input two, advanced options? Composite mode. Back to square one, normal. Okay, blend, add. Okay, blend, add. Blend input 2 into 1. And what is that? Where are these two inputs? Okay, reset, all reset. Combine. Do you need two inputs for that? I'm doing something wrong, but let's just push the green up. I like the green getting pushed up, so I'll just okay, I can't make any color exposure changes over here right now because there are multiple selections going on with the skin. We'll have to make them here only. I can go here and increase the green by 2 points and increase the red by 1 point and reduce the blue. No, stay on blue as is. Custom mixes, resolve FX fine source. Oh, depth map is there. Light rays, 3D gear, HSL, grid, color palette generator, flicker addition. Wow. False color, dispel, dehaze, contrast pop. इसमें से कुछ we can't use them. Box blur. Okay, it has to be something among these things. Heliation. Let's try this for once. Can I get a view? Can I get a view? Only. I like the heliation. It's doing the job that a Pro Mesh filter is supposed to do on highlights. But I wanna build it up again. Thank God now I can view the isolated regions. So threshold is like okay. Let let this be threshold. What is normalization? Okay, the roll off. I want a very smooth roll off. Film saturation level. Very less. And now we are applying heliation onto these. Strength. Okay, I'll reset them all to whatever they were. Strength 0, strength full. Okay, let's do it at full and we'll bring it down. Gamma 1.3. Gamma, let's bring it up either. Saturation 1, saturation 0. Let's get in some saturation. Spread 0.33. Okay, 0.4 is good spread. You can increase the gamma and reduce the strength. No, actually reduce the gamma and reduce the strength. So this was dry layer reflections. Now we are coming on to glow. Strength of glow. Okay, wonderful. Spread. Let's add a filter to it. Yellow filter of sorts. And okay, there's too yellow to be true. I can reduce the yellownicity. I don't know what it's called. Yellownicity by bringing it closer to white. Tell me white. This is nothing but a mistake. I didn't click OK. Okay. I like the spread of it. Gamma can go down a bit. Strength. Let's have this much strength. Okay, good enough to look like a film. Basic grain, append grain internally. Okay, let's go to full strength. Grain size increases, softness decreases, saturation little bit. Size is good over here, softness is good over here. Strength can come down to 0.4. It's a lot of grains. 0.15. Global adjustments, aspect ratio, detail loss. Nothing like that. Just reset that. Oh shit, what did I do? Better. Oh, that detail loss was heavy. I think we have already done that detail loss with our noise reduction. Let's disable, enable. Wonderful. Okay, now the individual colors. Okay, okay. The highlights can go little off red too. Very subtle amount of red is gone away from highlights, and this is the blue on the shadows can improve a bit. No, it should not. Tricky spice to be in. I just hope it doesn't feel like there's a yellow filter on top of everything. It's I'll reduce the color temperature by 90 points. I didn't get my light flares, but I got a lot of other things. Let's see after, before, after. वक्त बिताओ यार तुम्हें तो ग्रेड के साथ वक्त बिताओ प्यार तुम्हें खुद हो जाएगा. वाह, ऑडियंस ने ये वाला तालियां बजती और मेरे को कूट देते. I can try glow as a standalone thing. Alt P, another parallel layer. I'll just drag glow to this, and now I can go see the glow alone. Shine threshold should be limited to. नहीं यार, नहीं करते. Paste it. Lens flare didn't work out in this one because we don't have strong enough highlights. I mean, her face is glowing way more than the background, so makes sense. No flares on her face. This old lens effect, I love this. This brought the charm to it. This randomly happened and it fixed all the colors at one go for me. I like this second look better than the first one. I don't want to change this. Shadows also pull down some shadows for me. I think I can pull it down a little more. Yes. Highlights also I can push them up a little more. Nice. Let's start doing what we do in our exam. Copy and paste. Aha. The moment I do this, the moment of truth. Say, oh my god, way better than what I expected.